Hello and welcome to a class using Time Machine on Apple. This is something new in OS 10.5 and it has continued through OS 10.6. It's essentially an automated backup system. Now you need a secondary drive. Now if you have a desktop like a Mac Pro system that has more than one hard drive internally, you can certainly use that. If not, you do need to have an external drive. If you have one of the Intel Macs, you can have either the USB or FireWire. If you have a pre-Intel Mac, chances are you still have USB 2, which is very fast, and you can use USB drive for that too. I wouldn't want to use USB if I had an old USB device because it would just be so slow. But for the most part, if you're running 10.5 Leopard, you almost certainly have a machine capable of using USB 2. So having said that, I hooked up an external device to my machine. I'm going to turn it on now and we'll see what happens to it when I do. So let's see. It should prompt us a little bit, but you never know because each time it could be different, and I do have Time Machine set up on this previously, so I'm curious to see. Okay, I wanted you to see it right from the beginning. It's asking you what you want to do when you insert a disk that's not initialized. This isn't, so I do want to initialize it. I could eject it, I could ignore it, but keep in mind if I do initialize it, it's going to erase the hard drive. Now this is hooked up externally. Now I have quite a few drives on my machine, so if you make sense of this, you can make sense of anything. My external drive is this one because it has a FireWire icon, and that means it's hooked up externally. I'm going to select that, and I'm actually going to erase it, and the type is macOS Extended. If you wanted to share this with the PC user, this drive, you could do it as a DOS format, but then that would slightly limit on booting up from your Mac and stuff potentially, but you could definitely do that. I'm going to call this Doctor Who because it's a time machine. Erase it. It does give us one warning saying if you do this, it's going to erase the hard drive completely. Are you okay with that? So if this is a brand new drive, then of course you're okay with it. If it isn't, just make sure you are okay with it, because once it's erased, getting the data back is tedious and horribly expensive. So erase it. Now it's going to initialize it. Now you may not have to do this. It may just show up on your desktop, and if that's the case, life is good. But if it isn't the case, then keep that in mind. So that's how we get a drive initialized and ready for Time Machine. The next class we're going to be setting up Time Machine and actually starting it. So thank you very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you at the next class.